Hey, if you just walked across the stage with a diploma in your hands, congratulations, that's a huge accomplishment. My nephew just graduated from college and he's an adult now, and it's time for him to start making some adult decisions. So I figured I'd share my advice to not only him, but to you guys as well. Now, here's the part nobody really printed on your program. The next 5 years will do more for your money than any 5 years that come after. Not because you guys are going to be making the most, because you almost certainly won't, but because the dollars you save the youngest work the hardest. And that's where I made my biggest mistake when I was your guys' age. So let's say I'm your uncle and I want to talk money. Not the lecture that you're going to get at Thanksgiving. This is what I wish somebody had pulled me aside and told me when I was your age. There's not going to be any yelling, no shaming, no get rich quick nonsense on this channel. Just 5 things that I think matter from a guy that's about 20 years up the road and wants to turn around and hand you the map. Now, keep in mind, this is just educational content only and not financial advice. I'm not selling a system or a 9-step plan. There's no apps, no secret accounts that banks don't want you to know about. Just 5 things that I'd grab you by the shoulders and tell you if you were my own niece or nephew. If you get these right early, everything else is going to get easier. Get them wrong, and you're going to spend your 30s cleaning it up just like I had to. All right, number 1, toss the rule book. Almost no rule in money is meant for every single person. You've probably heard of the 50-30-20 rule, right? 50% of your money goes to your needs, like your mortgage, your rent, your car payment, your utilities. 30% goes into your wants, like going out to eat dinner, going to the movies, and then 20% goes into your savings. It's neat and it fits on a graphic and it sounds great, but it falls apart the second your rent eats half of your paycheck because your job required you to move to a high cost of living area. On a related note, my car payment is actually bigger than my mortgage. It's crazy and it doesn't work for most people, but there's a lot of factors that went into that. There's a reason I can afford to do that. I'll tell you a little bit about it. So I refinanced my house during COVID when interest rates were in the 2s. So I have a 2% mortgage rate and I can afford to put a little bit of extra money to my car. But that's my situation. The right answer for me, my age, my 40s, my income, is probably the wrong answer for you. Anytime somebody wants to hand you a hard, fast rule, like always buy, never rent, always kill debt first, your first question should probably be, who does that rule apply to? You have to run your numbers, not the influencers, not mine. Sometimes, maybe, the right call is to buy a brand spanking new car. But sometimes it's you got to get yourself a $2,000 hoopty that just gets you from point A to point B, and the rest of your money can go somewhere else. Food, rent, utilities. It's the same question, but it's a different answer depending on who you're asking the question. All right, number 2. Start now, but still live. If I could tattoo one thing on your face, it would be to stop waiting until you feel ready. Invest now, because you're probably never going to feel ready. The dollars you put away in your 20s are going to do the heaviest lifting of your life. $1 today is worth more to you right now than a few dollars a few years from now. Here's a little sneak peek at the math. I'll give you a full breakdown on the next episode when we cover compounding, but here's a little taste. If you were to invest $100 a month into the market for the next 30 years, over those 30 years, you would end up with over $150,000 if the market continues to perform the same way it's been performing for the last 100 years. Now, out of that $150,000, only $36,000 of that is the money that you actually deposited. Your $36,000 grew over $110,000 just by compounding. Now, if you were to delay that same $100 deposit by 10 years and you only invested for 20, you'd end up with almost $100,000 less. So here's where I'm going to split off from the penny pinching crowd, right? I'm not going to tell you that you need to eat rice and beans and skip every vacation until you're 50 and save every single penny, because that's miserable and it's a great way to quit saving completely. The move is both. You have to invest now and enjoy now. If you have a little bit of money left at the end of the month, save some of it and spend some of it. Don't feel guilty about that. If you have a lot left over, then you can lean a little bit harder into the savings. The reason you want a bigger pile isn't to have more toys. I mean, everybody loves toys. I love my toys. But the reason you want to save so much is because you don't want to be working until you're 65, right? Nobody wants to retire when they're 60 and they can't enjoy life as much anymore. You're allowed to enjoy being young while you do investing right. All right, number 3, I want to talk about being able to afford things, right? Thinking you can afford something is different from actually being able to afford it. Affordability isn't how much you make. It's not your salary. It's not what's in your checking account right this second. It's what allows you to survive if you get laid off, right? Let's say there's two people. They both make the same amount of money, and they both want the same $100,000 car. One person has a fat emergency fund, and they could lose their job tomorrow and be fine for the next year. The other's got $2,000 to their name. They make the same amount of money. They want the same car. One can afford it, the other one can't. And the dealership is going to give both of them the car regardless. And here's the part nobody likes hearing when you're young. You're first in line to get laid off. You're the last one hired in, you're probably the first one out. So that cushion matters more for you, not less. Before any big purchases, the question is never just, can I make the monthly payment? It's, is there going to be breathing room left after I make the payment when life goes sideways? If the answer is no, you just can't afford it yet. Number 4. Trust the math, not the mouth. Don't trust anybody about money who isn't willing to show you their own math, and that includes me. You just heard me say that a $100,000 car is a stretch for most people. Well, I drive a financed SUV that I'm still making monthly payments on, and it cost me almost $80,000. Did I need it? No, it's a vice of mine. I've had a car payment since I was 20 years old, and I swap cars every 2 or 3 years. It's not the smartest thing I do with my money, and honestly, it's probably the dumbest. And I'm telling you that on purpose. The second somebody's lecturing you about money from a rented Lamborghini, run. The person worth listening to is the one who puts their dumb decisions on the table right next to the smart ones. I'm going to show you my receipts, the good things, the dumb things, all of it. That's how you know I'm not going to sell you on something. When I do something that goes against the rule book and it was wrong, I'm going to tell you it was wrong and why I still did it anyways. All right, number 5. You can be your own advisor, right? You can learn almost all of this yourself, and I'll tell you the day that you can't. We've got the whole internet in our pockets. Financial advisor is going to charge you a percentage of your money every year to handle this kind of stuff. Most of what you'll hit in your 20s, you can learn it in a few good evenings studying online. That's exactly what this channel's for. A robo-advisor is going to charge you a fee to do the same thing I'm about to teach you to do for free. You can be your own advocate. Do the reading. Trust that you're smart enough, because you are. But here's where I'm going to stay straight with you. I'm just an uncle. I'm not a certified financial planner. I'm not a certified anything. There's going to be real moments to pay a professional to get it done right the first time. It could be a tricky tax situation, a big life event, something with a lot of zeros at the end of it. Knowing where the edge of your own knowledge is, that's not weakness. It's the most grown-up money skill that there is. And I'll tell you the moment we hit the edge of mine, and you should go reach out to a professional. All right, so recapping the 5 things. Number 1, toss the rule book. You got to run your own numbers, right? Nobody else knows your exact situation. Number 2, start now, but still live your life. Save now, spend now. You can do both. Number 3, affording it means surviving the worst week, not just making the payment. Leave yourself some wiggle room. Number 4, trust the math, not the mouth, and that includes mine. And then number 5, last but not least, be your own advisor and know when to call in a professional. Everything I ever make on this channel is going to hang off of those 5 things. Next video, I'm going to show you the actual numbers behind that compounding calculator, the real math on what starting today is going to be worth versus starting in 5 or 10 years. The number's going to be bigger than you think. And that's where I made my biggest mistake when I was in my 20s. I'm not some genius that's standing on top of a mountain. I'm just 20 years ahead of you down the road, turning around to give you the map I wish somebody had handed me, right? You're sharper than I was at your age because you're here. I'm just here to give you a little bit of a head start. Now, if you enjoyed this video, like or subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next one.